Hello, everyone, and welcome to Voices of Daytime. I'm your host, Tami Goveia. In 1998, Tamara Clatterbuck joined the family of the young and the restless. And I want to say joined is simplifying things because her character, Alice Johnson, well, the storyline that transpired for the next 3 years is one of Y&R's most dramatic storylines, and that's of Sharon Newman being reunited with baby Cassidy. So we have Tamara in studio today to talk about what it was like to be a part of a storyline that literally 25 years later is still relevant and we still feel the ramifications of it. Welcome, Tamara.
Thank you.
The Tamis are in studio.
Yes, we've talked about this. I mean, our names, I guess I am Tami too, but you're always Tami.
I'm always Tami.
I'm Tamara, sometimes Tami, but I'll be Tamara today.
Okay,
Because
we'll
you're
do that.
Tami.
I thought, and when I first met you, Patrika had introduced us.
Yes.
We love you, Patrika.
Oh boy, do we love Patrika.
Yes.
Does it get any better?
And, she was going on about Will Trent and, the other television episodes that you've done.
She's like
I
my
love
number
Nip Tuck.
one
I love your
fan.
Nip Tuck
Yes.
segment. It was fantastic. I love that show. But your time on Y&R
Oh,
is something else.
it is.
It is something else. So before we get into it,
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was appropriate,
Yes.
along with all the drama that you're going to be talking about,
Okay.
maybe having a little bubbly to go
Stop.
with this.
I love it. And it makes for a really fun interview, I heard.
It does.
A little glass of champagne, and before you know it, blah, 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 blah. That's when things get fun.
Always.
I've only heard that, though.
Yes,
I don't
rumor has
know
it.
that.
Rumor has
But
it.
rumor has it that stuff can really make things fun. So we're going to do that.
We're going to do that.
Perfect.
Air toast.
Air toast, cling, 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 sound effects.
And so it's 1998.
That was a great year.
I was just going to say, for daytime in general.
Yes. And a little burp there, sorry. We'll be real already.
We will.
That was probably one of the best years of my life because I was cast on Young and the Restless. And I'll tell you, I remember when Marnie Syada called, who's casting, and Marnie's over at Days
On
now.
Days. Yeah, I love her.
And I love her because she changed my life. She truly did. And I remember when I got the call, it was for 6 episodes of Alice Johnson. And she was this kind of grungy, derelict, nasty, angry young gal who was coming back to see her mom, and she had given up this little girl that she had adopted on the black baby market, which was became Cassie Newman, played by Cameron Grimes, who is amazing.
Spectacular, isn't she?
Ridiculous.
I mean,
Ridiculous. I recently, one of the fans from the fan event I went to posted a scene that I had with Cameron where she's got her little doll, Cindy, and it was like gut-wrenching. And I put it on story, and I think I've never had so many views on a story from a scene that was done in 1998, 1999. But I remember the call came in for the audition, and I met with Marnie, and I went in, and she was with Gail Camucho, I believe that's how I pronounce her name correctly, also in casting. And she goes, okay, we're gonna have you do this again and then come back. And I said, okay. So I get a call back, and who is in the room? Bill Bell himself.
no pressure.
No pressure.
Oh my
It was
gosh, Tamara,
Ed
that's
Scott.
such an iconic moment.
It was
Oh.
ridiculous. Bill Bell, Marnie, those 3 in the room. And I go over to CBS for the callback. and I did the scenes, and then I finished, and Bill Bell stood up and reached out to shake my hand. And I was like, I might have gotten this. But I still wasn't sure, as actors, we're so insecure. What did I do? Did I do it right? Did I do it wrong? Should I have done this? Should I have done that? And we have the audition on the way home in the car.
Right.
Like, why didn't I? And so he stood up and I shook his hand and I was just like, oh my goodness. And I've told Laura Lee, his daughter, this so many times. I adore Laura Lee.
Yes.
How much do we love her?
She's so humble and so just comes from such an organic place as a human.
It doesn't get any more real. It's like when I think about everybody that I have worked with and spent time with in daytime, it's really a shocker because, as an outsider, being in Ohio, where I was raised, Greensburg, Akron, Canton, Ohio, you would watch soaps and never would you believe that these actors are as genuine, authentic, and real as they are. And it was incredible. I mean, just the whole experience that I had in daytime. But regardless, I got the part.
So did Marnie call you?
Yeah, she called my agent. And then my agent called me. And he said, okay, so you got this Young and the Restless 6 episodes.
Had you done a soap before?
Never.
So you didn't know what to expect.
I didn't know what to expect. But what's interesting, Tami, I had done a lot of theater.
Okay.
Because I started out in equity. So I had done dinner theater, musical theater, all kinds of theater. So it was basically like doing a little play.
Absolutely. I've always liked in daytime.
Stage.
Yep.
Yes. So it was like doing a play. And I was like, okay, I can do this. And I remember the first day on set at Scott, and I have a nickname, him and Melody. They call me Dutch because my name Clatterbuck, torture of my childhood. It was of Dutch descent. My mother's Norwegian, but my father was Dutch and English descent. So that was my nickname. And then he would call me One Take Clatterbuck because I would just knock it out one take because of the theater experience.
Yep.
I think it was the theater. Like you gotta there's so much dialogue and story is driven by words, not by business. As far as, picking up a cup, taking like, hi, I'm gonna pick up this champagne right now. You have moments in prime time, but daytime is driven by story. So there was so much dialogue. But I think because of the theater background, it came to me quickly, which was good. But yeah, I'm telling you, like my first day there, I was just like, okay, I love this.
What did you love about it? What was it?
I loved the speed of it. It is fast. You're doing an hour episode a day. Prime time, you'll do 1 episode in 10 days. And then you'll have scenes, you'll be on location possibly, or, you might be at Fox or another studio, so to speak, for interiors, but, you'll be doing, 1 episode and it'll take 10 days, sometimes 14 days, whether it's a co-star, a guest star, what have you, top of show, whatever you're doing. But daytime, it's like an episode a day. Yep. And you're either morning or afternoon. So you'd be in at 5 a.m. and you'd be shooting in the morning, done by noon, or you would come in like at 12:31 and you would shoot, and then you would be done by like 4:35. So, I mean, I didn't have any children at the time. Now I have a son who's 22, but it is kind of the perfect gig for a family, for a mom, to be able to be home with your kids, even though you're memorizing that night like 90 pages. And you're like, leave me alone. I don't care. You're hungry.
But Mom, I'm bleeding.
I know, and I got 17 more pages to learn. That is the difficult part, I will say. But yeah, I'm telling you, it was. I fell in love with the genre and the work portion of it, and then I really fell in love with the actors, and they have been there for so long. And the difference with, if you do a guest star on a primetime show, you're the new kid on the block. I always talk about this. You show up and everybody, like a well-oiled machine. Like when I did Criminal Minds, I knew Shamar Moore. So that was good from when he was on YNR because we were there at the same time when I started out.
You had that rapport.
We had that rapport, which was awesome. He's like, hey, baby girl, how you doing? What's going on? What's with Sharon? And I'm just like, oh my God, this is great. But usually you'll get a guest star on a primetime show, you don't know anybody. So, these daytime actors, they've been on for all these years and they're so welcoming. And, before you know it, after a year and a half, you're just like part of the family.
But how did it go from 6 episodes to yours?
Oh, that's the great
Because
part.
what a ride. That's just crazy.
Yes. So yeah, I started, let me have a sip first.
Please.
Tami, join me. This is good.
Isn't it yum?
Yeah, it really is.
Barefoot.
Oh, yummy.
Mm-hmm. Nice champagne for
See,
barefoot.
I know it is actually. I've got to get the name of that when I leave. So, so it started off 6 episodes. And it might have been 6 or 10 now that I think about it. But I was still auditioning for other jobs. And I remember I got this movie. I came in and I was working with Ernestine Mercer, who has passed. She played Ma. And I started out as this evil. I was her daughter. And I came home and I caused problems. And, I was going to go and find Victor Newman and get the money. And where's my Cassie? Where's my Cassie? Because my mother had raised her.
Millie
had raised her for like a year and a half when I went off and ran off with men and did whatever I had to do. So I came back, I want my kid. And so there was all this tension between us. But in real life, Ernestine Mercer, I mean, she was, in the Follies back in the day and came from theater in the 30s. And I used to go to her apartment in West Hollywood. We would run lines. I'd pick her up in the morning at like 4 a.m., 4:30 a.m., take her to the studio to CBS. And we became dear, dear friends. And what an actress. She such a beautiful, lovely human and such a wonderful actress from way back in the day.
And what stories she must have had.
Oh my gosh, she had some stories.
She
would smoke. Tell me
woman,
a story, smoke. Tell me a story.
She had paid her dues.
Oh yeah. Yeah. She was an incredible, incredible person. So we had this stuff where I was just despicable to her and the fans just hated me. And I mean hated.
So how did you hear about fan reaction?
Well, we would get fan mail in those days. Yes. Like actual snail mail. Oh yeah.
Oh
like one of
gosh.
these gals had, put up a little website on me and I would save the mail and I'd have my mom help me like opening the mail. So it was like with her Norwegian accent, Tami, she would call me Tami. There's one of the girls, the fan, and I'd be like, okay, Mom, there'd be all these letters and I'd be like, Mom, I can't talk to all of them. And what should I, help you say? And she would just help me with the mail and which was so cute.
So you responded to the fan mail?
Every single one.
Holy
You have
cannoli.
to. Yeah, you have to.
That's amazing.
I'd autograph all the pictures. My mom would help me, put the pictures in the envelope and mail them. And I mean, it was a big undertaking.
Yeah.
It's huge. And maybe that's why, back to the question, I felt like I skirted it a little bit, how the 6 turned into basically a year and a half, 2-year contract on the show. I think it was the fans. And the fans hating me actually helped. I feel either you're loved or hated. To be in the middle is like, you've got to be loved or hated. There has to be like some sort of controversy. And there was, and how I, treated Ernestine because she was so old. Like people were just like, this is horrid. And the hatred was so powerful. But what essentially happened is I had gotten this little movie shooting in Alaska. And it was one of those avalanche type films. And Marnie's like, hold on a minute. No, you can't go. And there was a contract.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was like, no, you're gonna stay here and do Young and the Restless if you want to. And I was like, are you kidding me? Of course I want to. So so then I stayed. And I continued for 2 years. Yeah, that was 2 years with that whole storyline.
The custody battle.
The custody battle and all the stuff like, showing up in Genoa City and causing problems.
Who was your first scene with?
So it was with Ernestine Mercer.
Okay.
And then they cast a boyfriend for me, the despicable boyfriend, which his name was Vasily Bogazianos. And I don't even know if he's still acting. I've lost touch with him. And he was like just evil, like horrible boyfriend. So it was the two of us. And I would look in the mirror and I had a picture of Eric Braeden, Victor Newman, plastered on the wall. And I'd be like, I'm going to find you all that money. I'm going to get my Cassie and all that crazy stuff. And so I had to hire a lawyer to help me get Cassie. But I was working, Jennifer Garris.
Yes.
Let me not skip.
Grace,
it's been so
right?
long, hon.
Yeah.
My memory is now flying a mile a minute. I'm like going back in time here, Tami. Jennifer Garris, who is now my best friend, her and Sharon Case, and Lauren Woodland, who was also on the show. These are my 3 best friends from 1999.
Isn't that lovely?
And that'll never change. Like I just texted Jennifer before I got here. She called me. We talk every day. We text every day. And we've always done our annual Christmas parties together. And yeah, we are like, thick as thieves, like the 3 of us.
So you hadn't met her yet?
No, I hadn't met her yet.
Okay, because I think she started on YNR 97, right just before
me,
you did.
Because when she found Cassie, she raised her for a little bit first, prior to Sharon getting her. So she was like kind of the second mommy. She was Sharon had given birth to her, but then, Jennifer Grace, who was played by another actress prior to Jennifer.
Yes,
Josie Davis.
Yes.
Right. So then Jennifer steps in. So she had Cassie, and then she gives it to Sharon, and then I come in. So there was a lot of conflict as well between Jennifer and I.
I love the layered conflict.
Oh, there was
fantastic.
There was so much. And then when I went with my boyfriend to meet with Christian LeBlanc and
Michael.
Michael Baldwin. Oh, and let's talk about Christian LeBlanc. Does it get any more talented? Working with him, he comes from the theater too. And man almighty. He's a wild card. Like, you don't know what's going to happen next.
And that's why you love the character of Michael so much. Because he has that grin. Christian's got that grin.
Yes.
And you almost want to brace yourself.
Yes.
Because you don't know what to expect.
You don't. And we've got our dialogue, but he had so many nuances, and like he would just turn and then a moment and like thinking. And you're like, what's he going to do? What's he going to do? And it made it so fresh and so honest and so real to work with him. It's truly a joy. I can't say enough about his work. And I think he's doing a play right now too. I should know what it is. I just saw it on social media. He's always doing a play. And Christian, and talk about fun and amazing. I've got a little thing on my Instagram page where it's Kelly Lang, Jennifer, Christian, and I were all dancing at YNR's 50th. And Christian is just nuts.
He's a hoot.
He's a hoot.
He is a hoot.
Oh, gosh, he's so much fun to be with. And, Kate Linder would do we would go to, let's
talk about a sweet thing.
Hello, Kate
Yes.
Linder. Love. Like, my heart's like exploding right now talking about these actors. And that's genuine. I'm serious. That's not like bull. These actors, these humans are so incredible. Like, there is nothing, I don't have a bad thing to say. And everybody wants dirt. What's the
I
dirt?
know.
What's the dirt? You've got to have something. I'm like, the dirt is they're phenomenal. That's the dirt. But yeah, and so we had a scene where I first met with Christian, and he was going to help me get Cassie. So he was my attorney. And then it just went from there. And then when I first met with Sharon, when I think, oh God, it was so long ago, Tami, did she come to me or I came to her? But when Sharon Case and I became best friends, I mean, she came to visit me. And maybe Joshua Morrow came first. I can't remember. I think she heard about me trying to get Cassie. She came to visit me. We had a scene, and I was practically in tears. She's so talented. And, nominated this year for an
Yes.
Emmy. And man almighty, she was just so great. And after that day working together, we're like, hey, what are you doing tonight? Want to go to dinner? Yeah, let's go for drinks. Yeah, let's do it. And then inseparable. I mean, we were out and about on the town, hanging out, friends. She'd come over to my house. We'd hang out. We'd cook dinner at her house. And yeah, it's crazy.
What's her favorite dish to cook and what's yours?
Oh, man. So Sharon, let me tell you about a cook. She would get like a whole fish from Santa Monica Seafood. She'll slice it open in the belly. She'll gut it out. She'll walk out to this little garden at the side of her pool. She'll pick some thyme and some spices. She'll come back in. She'll shove it in. She'll put it together.
Okay, my
and
mouth is
she'll
watering.
cook.
Hold on a second.
I'm telling you. And I love salmon. And she did this with salmon. And then she did branzino. And then she'll do some quinoa on the side and chopping everything fresh. And of course, we're drinking while we cook. And I was going to do the Sharon cooking show. I remember Ella was doing Warder. We would all hang out and cook. And I'm like, we got to do a little cooking show with Sharon and all these recipes that are just in her head, making all this food.
It's a great idea.
Yeah, it was great. And so, man, we had a good time. And so we were like always together, always hanging out. And so that became my family. And from Ohio, I didn't have any family here. I had nobody. And
LA can be a tricky place to navigate when you don't have folks out here.
It
Yeah.
is. Not one single relative, nobody. And just a few friends from when I used to waitress for how many years? Talking about pounding the pavement, Tami. Yikes. So yeah, I mean, it was great because I instantly felt that I did have not only these friendships, but this family. And I got to see them every day at work. And then I got to hang out with them at night. And then there'd be, publicity and events. And we'd be together, which made it so much fun. And, I don't think we ever got into any even arguments or fights. And still to this day, I need to pick a fight with one of them just for some drama. I'm going to call Jennifer. I'm mad at you. I don't know why yet, but let me think about it. I'll think of something.
Had you watched Y&R before?
I had seen Young and the Restless.
Okay.
And in college, of course, I watched General Hospital.
Yes.
And so when I did go to GH, which we'll talk about later, seeing Anthony Geary, who's also so brilliant, and Maurice Bernard, because I played his dad's girlfriend when I replaced Patricia Healy on the show. And oh my gosh, that was just incredible working with them. Because I remembered, I was like, hello. I was at Bowling Green State University in Toledo, Ohio, watching you every day.
My mother, I got her hooked on General Hospital, and Sonny was her favorite character. And whenever he would come onto the television, she would say, Sonny, put those dimples away.
Oh my gosh, how cute is that?
It's so true, right?
Oh.
But when you work with people like Maurice or Eric Braden or Joshua and Sharon, they raise the bar.
They do.
It's an acting lesson in and of itself every single day.
Yes, it is. And with daytime, you have to get through the story, so you do have to pretty much stick to script. But improvisationally, we would bounce around a little bit. We knew each other. We understood. I think through working together for so long, we knew, like, if there was a line that was switched or whatever, like, we knew how to just go with the flow. So yeah, I mean, it was incredible. I want to go back. Do you hear that?
Well, we're going to talk about that because I
That
have
would
some
be
ideas.
so great.
But I was thinking, there are some things on YouTube of your
Yeah.
scenes, your time on in
Yeah.
the Restless, and I'm watching these scenes.
Yeah.
And when you came back in 2005 and in 2017, you had scenes with Mariah,
Yes.
right?
That's right.
Who would have thunk that whole storyline would turn into there's a twin, there's
Right.
another daughter, what?
Right.
And I will agree with you.
Mhm.
Alice is rough.
Yeah.
She's a tough cookie.
Yes.
As someone recently said, a tough customer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Obviously, it was fun
Oh,
to play someone like that.
right.
But how do you, because every actor will say, well, you can't hate the character you play. Like you've got to come from some kind of authentic
Right.
place. So what did you do to move into that space of it feeling organic for you?
Right. Thought about that guy that broke my heart. No. So I will admit I am kind of a method actor. I will admit that. Like I have this book, Uta Hagen, Respect for Acting,
Fantastic
which,
book.
and I would have killed to have studied with her. And the teacher that I studied with, Ed K. Martin from Chicago, he taught the same way. I do my questions: who am I? Where am I? What am I? What do I want? What's at stake? What's at stake?
Always what's at stake.
Always what's at stake. And the bar has to be high, the risks have to be high, and that's just how I work. Some people work differently, but that's how I work. And I always try to come from my truth. And I do use experiences, I guess you would call it subtext, of things that have happened to me that have pained me, angered me, made me feel love or joy or whatever. I'll think of a specific instance, and I do use that in my work because I feel the camera doesn't lie. So to be a caricature of something, to be, I'm going to play this evil, horrible woman. She gave this baby up. She's despicable. You have to play it. You have to, I think, find the pain, the anger behind the character, behind the evil, or it's just one note. And I mean, have I ever been angry? Have I ever been pissed? Have I ever been like, seething? Yes. And beneath all of that, I think is pain. And in the end, when I gave Cassie back, I won her in the custody battle. And I stood up in court, with Christian LeBlanc to my right, and everybody was in the courtroom, Eric Braden and Sharon, Joshua, and I did that whole monologue. And I remember Kathy Foster, who had directed that, like ran down on the stage, and everybody was, I was genuinely crying.
It's excruciating scene.
Yeah, I was crying because I'm like, this is the end of my run.
Well, there you go.
I'm nice now. Darn it. What are you going to do with me now? What's next with Alice? So I was kind of like, crap, it's the end. And, Ed Scott did let me know too. He said, so we're kind of, we're tying things up a little bit with the story. And I was just like, yeah, so basically, I try to make it as honest and authentic as possible to Tamara Clatterbuck. Like, it isn't Alice Johnson, it's Tamara Clatterbuck, and she's coming out as Alice. Or to me, it's gonna be acting and not, just like existing in the behavior, and the truth. So that's how I try to approach things. And it's funny, Jeannie Cooper, I did get to,
Oh
let's
my
say I did get
gosh,
to
talk
work with
about
her.
that.
Um,
We miss her so much
oh,
in daytime, just every day.
does it get any more incredible, the fact that I had the opportunity to work with Jeannie and to spend time with Jeannie, who is one tough, amazing, fantastic broad. Let me tell you, she's incredible and was incredible. Bless her heart, rest in peace, sweet Jeannie. Um, and she came up to you and she would just tell you how it was. And she was so complimentary of my work. And I remember that day, she's like, "You've got it, kid. That's good. That was good work today." And I went to my dressing room like, "Ah, ah," and I was just so excited and just, because you get nervous when you're on something, or how are people going to react to me? And what a gem she was. Oof, yeah, incredible. Incredible, incredible human.
So we're more than 25 years later
Yeah,
with this.
yeah.
And as I mentioned, the storyline has not gone away.
Yeah,
The-
I recently saw something in like the soap hub or something
yes.
talking about, Mariah and Sharon, and the story with Sharon and the bipolar. Is she taking her meds and, all this stuff? I mean, it would be lovely for Alice to come back. It's funny because when I did go back in 2017, I went back as a madam with that
Yes.
whole storyline. Um, and I remember there would be fans. They didn't like Alice then either. And I was kind of back to this evil madam, this, that, and the other. But I didn't die. Actually, do you know, Tammy? Nobody knows what happened to
Nobody
me.
really
I don't
knows.
even know.
There's a scene where Alice is leaving the hospital, I think, and you
Well,
just kind of she disappears into the night.
Well, I got hit by a car. Ryan Ashton was my pimp, the actor
Zach,
who
the
played
character,
Zach.
yeah.
And I got hit by a car, and all this money that I was holding in my hand flew in the air. And then I ended up in the hospital, but they never showed me in the hospital. But Sharon came to visit me in the hospital to talk to me, and I had disappeared.
You had disappeared.
So to this day, we don't know where I am. I'm at large. I mean, did I die? Well, how did I die? I mean, did I walk out of the hospital? Did somebody kidnap me? Like, where am I? And sometimes I'll get people like DMing, little fans, and they'll DM and they'll be like, "I think Alice is in Sharon's basement and she's being held down there and she's going to help Sharon and come back." And it's funny, when Sharon and I had those scenes, we had these scenes in a car, and we felt like Thelma and Louise shooting those scenes. And we would make jokes like, "God, Alice should come back, and she'll come back and she'll help Sharon. And she'll have this whole story where she's saving Sharon."
Well, there's helping, saving Sharon. There's
Yeah.
with the storyline with Mariah right now.
Right.
The connection that Alice had with Ian Ward.
Right.
I mean, it's all being played out
Right.
right now. And so Alice returning is not far-fetched and can
Not at all.
certainly drive story
Right.
in an atypical
Right.
kind of way,
Right.
which I think fans would just
Oh, yeah.
adore.
Oh, yeah.
So we got to keep pushing that.
Keep
pushing
Yeah,
that.
I think so too.
I think so.
Well, I'm glad I'm sitting here with you today,
Yes,
Tammy.
we need Alice back because it just makes sense.
Yeah.
It's not, it'd be nice to have Alice back. It makes
Yes.
story sense.
Yeah.
And conflict and drama.
Yes.
It could be a redemption story for Alice.
Yeah.
Or it could be Alice, the downfall. Maybe she's still working with Ian.
Yeah.
Maybe it's Mariah's downfall.
Yeah.
There's so many ways.
so
So
many
many
juicy
possibilities.
things that could happen. I know, so many possibilities.
Yes, yes,
I mean, and I love the idea where, Sharon still secretively has her contact and her number and
yes.
knows that she's still around and maybe in a desperate plea reaches out to her. And in my loyalty to Sharon, in the end, a total twist,
Yes.
and this is just all coming to me now. Helps Sharon. And yeah, like, who knows?
Sharon has needed so much help over the
Yeah.
past 2 years.
Yeah.
She could use
Yeah. She
some
could use a
reinforcement.
friend.
And it would be nice for Alan to have a kind of redemption
Yeah.
story.
Yeah. Yeah. This could be good.
We're gonna keep this going.
Yeah.
Fans. It's about the
Yes.
fans,
Yeah,
right?
you know what? It really
Yes.
is. And it's crazy when I went to the fan event. Um, I mean, I genuinely love these fans and they remember everything. They brought to the fan event the blast from the past. They brought in Kathy Thomas, who works over at Bold and Beautiful, the PR. She's such a doll. She's like, Tara, do you want to do Blast to the Past again? We're doing it. And I'm like, of course I want to do it. And they would show up, Tammy, with magazine. Remember the old days of the
Yes.
soap digest at the grocery store? And you're getting Soap Digest and the Soap Opera Weekly. And what were the other ones? There was
When
a
you
bunch
had
of them.
hard copies.
The hard copies.
Right?
They showed up with the hard copies because they knew I would be there. And they wanted me to sign these yellowed pages. Oh my God, I'm really aging myself, Tammy. These magazines, that had like yellowed over time. And you write something, and there'd be like a little picture of me with like Ernestine in the corner in the
Oh.
magazine. And I would write, and I was so moved by this. I'm like, you're still hanging on to this magazine and you're still like so moved, like, Alice, will you ever come back? We want you to come back. And I mean, it just would get to me and I would just hug them. The first we did the Blast of the Past, that was right after the year after COVID. That was 2000. I think they do the Blast of the Past every 2 years, 21 or 22. And everybody was still kind of masking a little bit. So a lot of people were, scared to like hug. But I mean, this year everybody was hugging and, it's just amazing. These fans are so loyal.
Yes.
And I have to say, I mean, when I was on the show, you couldn't go anywhere back in the day when daytime was just like totally at its height, and it still is. I'm telling you, I would get on a plane and everybody would be like, I remember flight attendants, sit up here and then what's going to happen? Is he going to, like, getting moved to first class so I could tell her the story and what was going to happen? And I'm like, I can't tell you. She's like, well, just, what's Eric Braden like in real life? Just tell me what he's like. Okay, Christian LeBlanc, tell me about Christian. And I'm like, okay, well, I'll sit up here in first class with my glass of champagne
That I can
and
talk to you
my
about.
lovely little meal, and I'll talk. I'll tell you about the actors. But yeah, it's unbelievable how the fans are just so loyal. More so it feels than in prime time.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
With daytime, it's such a unique genre
It is.
because you're in people's living room
Every day.
or phone now
Yes.
every single day.
Yes.
For 50, Y&R, were they 53
Yes.
now, I think?
Yeah.
It's phenomenal. It's
Yes.
mind-blowing. So that kind of loyalty
Yeah.
is unsurpassed.
It's crazy. And yeah, I mean it's amazing how, and their loyalty, their dedication, and how they still like reach out to me on social media and will you ever come back? And I want you to come back, like they remember, and sometimes it's from the 2017 story with the whole Madam thing. But, I mean, I think it would be really cool if something that was really real, like a relationship, like friendship, that I would have with Sharon or Mariah or who knows, where they have to dig back and find Alice,
Hmm.
for help, like something very
I'd love that
real.
idea. And I
That
think the
would be
fans would
so
too.
cool. Yes. But yeah, they just don't stop, those fans. Love you. I mean, really.
Well, the reason I do this podcast
Yeah.
is because the concept of legacy
Mm-hmm.
means something to people.
Yes.
And when it comes to entertainment, the entertainment industry, daytime represents that in spades.
Yeah.
The legacy of these
Mm-hmm.
shows is really, I get goosebumps,
Yeah.
is profound.
Yes.
And the impact that it makes in people's lives,
Yes.
whether it's just escaping for a little while.
Right.
I mean, that's what entertainment is, right? It's just escaping for a little while into story.
Yeah.
Into story. And
Yes.
Y&R, Young and the Restless, really is doing it well.
Yes.
There's ebb and flow. There's ebb
Yeah.
and flows with any of the soap operas. But there's so much to look forward to on the
Yeah.
Y&R landscape right now.
Yes.
I think Alice coming back
Yeah.
can be a really essential surprise.
Oh, it'd be great.
An essential surprise.
Yeah.
So we're gonna keep spotlighting that.
Yeah. We'll put the little feelers out there.
Before we go,
Yeah.
what have you taken away from your experience on The Young and the Restless and working in daytime in general as a human? Like, obviously, artistically,
Yeah.
you don't get any better experience than working in
Right.
daytime.
Right.
But as Tamara Clatterbuck, what morsel of gold have you taken away from your time?
Well, first of all, the gratitude, the fact that I was able to make a living as an actor because I did 3 shows in daytime television for quite a few years. The gratitude is enormous because to make a living as an actor is so difficult. And so I have the utmost gratitude that I have been loved and embraced, by fans and by directors, producers on these shows, and by the actors. Just the gratitude is incredible that I have. And the friendships that I formed with these people. Like, I mean, I could call Laura Lee right now and say, Laura Lee, my kid is driving me nuts, because our kids are the same age. Her son and daughter are the same age as my son Spencer. He's 22. He'll be 23 in November. And, we've had our powwows, Laura Lee and I, like, just being a parent, being a mom. And it's amazing because they're not just people I work with. They are family. It's like sisters and brothers. And, and to see them every day, to get something like that is just such a gift. And I'm telling you, to get those 2 things are the 2 biggest, the gratitude and the family that I was given from daytime television. My time in daytime is just phenomenal.
Thank you so much for
Well,
sharing that
thank
gratitude
you.
with us and that sense of family.
Oh,
Because with all the craziness going
Yeah.
on, there's always craziness.
there always
There's a lot of craziness
is.
now, but there's always craziness,
Yes,
right? And
yes.
to always fall back on what's important,
Yeah.
and coming from that
Oh.
place of gratitude, regardless of
Yes.
everything that's going on.
Yes.
Finding something that you can be grateful for
Yes.
and being thankful for family, blood
Yeah.
related or not,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
When you talk about your daytime family,
Yes.
it's
It is
just
a family.
It is a family.
It is. I could call any one of them, and they're going to call me back. They will call me back. And it won't be about the industry. It'll be about something else. Like, should I wear this? Often Jennifer will be like, Tamara, you always know what to do with the clothes and the shoes. And she'll like do all these pictures. I've got this. I'm going to the Bold and Beautiful. Blah, blah. Should I wear this? What do you think of the
Girl
shoes?
talk.
What about the hair?
It's all girl
what about
talk.
And I'm like, okay. And she'll send which picture? And it'll be like 6 different outfits. I'm gonna say, well, you look hot in all of them. But let me think. I love number 2 and number 4, and then she'll be like, okay, but should I wear the shoes? And I mean, it's like, it's everything. It's like, these are my friends. Like, this is my family. Yeah, I love them.
Where can people find you on the socials?
Yeah.
We want people to be able to
Tamara
connect with
Clatterbuck,
you.
at Tamara Clatterbuck.
Okay.
The other day I got asked, and I'm like, what the heck is my Instagram handle? I know, you guys, I gotta be more active. I haven't been active, and I've got to get busy and get with it. I did the blast from the past, but Jennifer and I were hanging out all the time. And we always have these funny moments. We had done what was it? We went to the Bold and Beautiful. I think it was one of the anniversary shows, and there was an Emmy there. And yeah, she went to stand by the Emmy, and then I went to stand by it, and she pushed me. And she's like, Tim, I got like, I don't know how many views on that little thing where I shoved the crap out of you, and you went flying. And I just huddled the Emmy, and I'm like, oh my gosh, we need just to hang out on the town and do little like snippets of ourselves.
Yes.
Just being
Please?
Friends.
Yes.
Yeah, I told her that. So I don't know. Who knows? Let's see what she says. She seemed up for it, but we'll see.
When Alice does return, I want you back on the show.
Oh, so do I.
And we will continue this conversation.
Oh, yes, we will, girl.
That is the energy that we're putting out.
Yes, we're putting it out there.
Right?
We're putting it out there. We'll do a toast.
We'll do a toast.
To that.
Putting that energy out
to
there.
that. Cheers.
Clink,
Air
my
cheers.
dear.
Cling, 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 cling.
To the return that we're all looking forward to.
Love it. And the champagne.
And the champagne. Thank you for joining us, everyone. Video folks who are watching us, thank you for joining us. To our audio podcast folks, thank you. Audio podcast people. Appreciation is the name of the game here. Gratitude is the name of the game. So thank you for joining us. Thank you for your support. This has been Voices of Daytime, a JLG Media production. I'm Tami. We'll see you soon.